Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special set.
First opened in 2000. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 10th-year quarterback. This is his first season in his 30s. 30-year-old out of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
One thing you ask for from your quarterback, improvement each and every season. You also ask for consistency. Matthew Stafford, 7 straight years, over 4,000 yards passing. He's still looking for that initial playoff victory during his tenure, but I think that he's been leading them towards it and has a chance to get it in the upcoming future.
On first down, it's Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. And now the offense for Detroit.
One way I really judge a player's value is when opponents know what your strengths are, yet they still can't take that away. That tells me you're a heck of a player. For Theo Riddick, everyone knows about his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, yet he's still the primary target for Matthew Stafford on just about any passing situation.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Stafford. The quick slant caught. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who's in his 11th season now as a starting quarterback of the Packers. It's his 14th year overall, Aaron Rodgers.
And a case can be made that Aaron Rodgers is changing the way you play quarterback in the NFL. Instead of just precision and timing, he's able to take a play and extend it even when it doesn't need to be and go for the bigger play downfield rather than short, easy, effective throw.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. play action. Now Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Nevin Lawson with a pick. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a carry for Blount. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
I enjoy talking about and watching A.J. Boye play because when he was in Houston, he worked his way up from a nickel corner, sometimes a dime cornerback, all the way up to a starter. Now, his first Pro Bowl in 2017, this time with the Jacksonville Jaguars after signing with them as a free agent, and had 6 interceptions, tied for 2nd in the NFL. I love his physical, aggressive style. Always going for the football.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Stafford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Set, lady.
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
319, blue 58, 319 Sonata.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So out now come the Lions. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now Blunt. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Play action's supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain.
Still
all for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The when people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Johnson, down right around the 25. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford there for the stop.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. 6-0 is our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
319.
There's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
319.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see just close. And that was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Now it's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw
Still
it,
first down.
you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal.
18.
Working from the gun. Rodgers And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it off to Ajayi. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was
False
moving.
start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
319. 319 Sonana.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And Crosby puts it through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Now Abdullah, the return. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Play action. Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He'll run it here with Blunt. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Jerry Hughes on the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And this is incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine cornerback, there to make the play defensively. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. To throw on third down. Stafford out to the flat for Reddick. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Lions have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player When they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Tate. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Stafford now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. He finds Riddick, complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford looks to throw again. That's complete right around the 8. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Again, it's Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Golden Tate from 8 yards out. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a play fake here on first down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the gun, it's Rodgers. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On now is the Packers punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, a nice spin. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The Lions had the fewest 3rd down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Sam Martin now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Ajayi. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On now is the Packers punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Johnson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. On play action, now Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around. And we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They run with Ajayi. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This is Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. We're going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Hey, we got four down. Four set. 250.
Now Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Hey, four down.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, you ready? 180.
Again, it's Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Set. Lady.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, 4th coming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
319.
Now Rodgers. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
319.
Working from the gun. Rodgers drops it off to Ajayi. A gain of 8 and a 1st down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the 1st.
319.
On 1st down, Rodgers. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
319.
Rodgers to throw once more. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
58.
And again, it's Rodgers. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Rodgers again now. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
1st down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
319.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start. Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Here's Rodgers. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start. Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Set. 180.
Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Willie Henry. Never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Johnson. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Here's Sam Martin now. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And taken right at the 35. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And now the Packers get set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
319!
They'll begin the drive with a jive. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now it's Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Four down, check. Set, lady.
They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll power his way up near the 25. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Four down.
The give to the fullback on the dive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.